Time, we structure our lives around it. We measure it, chase it, and lament its loss. It feels as real as the ground beneath our feet. But what if time isn't real? What if it's nothing more than a construct, a story we tell ourselves to make sense of reality? This isn't just a philosophical musing. It's a question that has captivated some of the greatest minds in both science and philosophy. Let's begin with the way we typically perceive time, as a straight line. Past, present, and future march forward, like a never-ending parade. We call this the arrow of time, and it's so ingrained in our thinking that it feels obvious. But what if that arrow is just an illusion? Albert Einstein was the first to truly shake this idea. His theory of relativity introduced us to the concept that time isn't fixed. It's flexible, relative, and deeply intertwined with space. Imagine a spaceship traveling close to the speed of light. To the people on board, time seems normal. They eat, sleep, and age as usual. But to an observer on Earth, their clocks tick slower. Their entire perception of time is stretched. This phenomenon, known as time dilation, has been proven with precise atomic clocks and satellites. But relativity is just the beginning. Some scientists, like physicist Julian Barbour, have taken the idea even further. In Barbour's view, time doesn't exist as a flowing river. Instead, reality is a series of frozen moments, snapshots, if you will. Each moment is complete, existing independently of any other. What we perceive as time passing is simply our consciousness moving through these snapshots, like flipping through a photo album. Think about it. When you watch a movie, you see a continuous story. But in reality, that movie is made up of individual frames, each one static. The motion is an illusion created by your brain, stitching the frames together. What if our lives are like that? What if the flow of time is just a trick of perception? Philosophers have wrestled with similar ideas for centuries. Henri Bergson argued that time isn't something external and measurable. Instead, it's something we experience subjectively through our consciousness. Consider how differently time feels depending on the situation. A 2-hour movie can feel like 10 minutes if it's exciting, while waiting 10 minutes for an appointment can feel like an eternity. For Bergson, this subjective experience is the essence of time, not the ticking of a clock. Modern physics has added another layer to this puzzle. Quantum mechanics, the study of the universe at the smallest scales, reveals a reality far stranger than anything we experience in daily life. Particles can exist in multiple states at once, a phenomenon called superposition. Some physicists suggest that our sense of past, present, and future might be like this, a tapestry of possibilities, all existing simultaneously. Imagine you're at a crossroads, standing still. The roads ahead represent all the possible futures, and the roads behind are the paths you didn't take. In our everyday experience, we walk forward, choosing one road at a time. But what if all the roads, past, present, and future, exist together? What if time is more like a map than a journey? This idea ties into Einstein's concept of the block universe. In this model, the universe is like a book where every page already exists. The past, present, and future are all part of the same structure. From the perspective of the block universe, time doesn't flow. It simply is. This raises profound questions. If all moments exist simultaneously, does that mean the past isn't truly gone? Is the future already written? And if so, what does that mean for free will? Are our choices an illusion, predetermined by the structure of this block universe? Before we despair at the thought of losing control, let's consider another perspective. Philosopher Carlo Rovelli suggests that time, as we experience it, might be an emergent phenomenon. It's not a fundamental feature of the universe, but a byproduct of how we perceive and interact with the world. Picture a crowded cafe. People are chatting, cups are clinking, and steam rises from fresh coffee. To you, it's a bustling scene, but if you were an ant crawling on the table, you'd see the world very differently. Rovelli suggests that our experience of time is like this, just one perspective among many. One of the most intriguing aspects of time is its connection to entropy, the measure of disorder in a system. Imagine a jigsaw puzzle. When the pieces are scattered on the table, it's chaotic, high entropy. As you assemble the puzzle, it becomes more orderly, low entropy. The universe, it seems, tends to move from order to disorder, and this one-way street gives us the arrow of time. But what if we could reverse entropy? Would time flow backward? In the film Interstellar, the characters experience time in radically different ways. On one planet, an hour equals 7 years on Earth, due to the intense gravity of a nearby black hole. This isn't just science fiction. It's a dramatized version of real physics. Gravity, as Einstein showed, bends not just space, but time itself. So where does all this leave us? If time is an illusion, what does that mean for our lives? Should we stop setting alarms and ignore deadlines? Of course not. Even if time is a construct, it's a useful one. It helps us organize our lives and make sense of the world. But perhaps we can take away a deeper lesson. If the past, present, and future all exist together, then every moment is equally real and equally valuable. Think of a cherished memory, maybe a family gathering or a quiet moment in nature. If time doesn't truly flow, then that moment isn't gone. It still exists, just as real as this moment now. This perspective can also shape how we think about the future. Instead of seeing it as an empty void waiting to be filled, we might see it as a part of reality that's already there, waiting for us to reach it. In the end, the idea that time doesn't exist isn't just a scientific or philosophical puzzle. It's an invitation to rethink how we live. If time is a story, then we are the storytellers. And like any good story, the beauty is in the details, the moments of joy, wonder, and connection that make life meaningful. So, is time real, or is it just an illusion, a clever trick played by the universe, or perhaps by our minds? The answer might be elusive, but the journey to understand it is timeless. If you enjoyed exploring these ideas with us, leave a comment below and let us know which aspect struck you the most. And if you want to learn more about how science and philosophy collide to reveal new perspectives on reality, subscribe to our channel, Briefly Considered. See you next time.